Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the HodPod. I have a guest today. It's Evan. We're back and we're married. Do you have your ring on?
Yeah.
Yay. Okay. I'm so excited to have Evan on. Evan likes to drink his water, so sorry. Evan,
Gotta stay hydrated.
What's going on? What's going on today?
What's going on?
Give us a fun fact or something crazy.
A fun fact.
Or like what's been like ruminating in your head. I don't know. Just tell the people something funny.
So
we were just talking about trains, but
on Monday and Tuesday,
it goes right into it.
I was on a sixth grade retreat.
Really get in there.
Through, so the church that I work with is attached to a school, and so I was on a sixth grade retreat with them, and so
you can sit up though.
One of the things we did was we played. There was laser tag on top of this mountain, so you have to climb on top of like this hill to get there.
Wait, that's crazy.
And the laser tag, like the guns are like crazy. Like the laser tag guns are insane. Like they have like red dot sight optics with like a foregrip, and it tells you how much health you have. Like,
are you serious?
How many bullets are in?
That's insane.
Like how many bullets before you have to reload, and then how much ammo you have
for laser tag. Not even
for
paintball?
Laser tag.
That's crazy.
Like no, and he was like, these guns cost like $1,000, or they call them taggers because I wanted to call them guns.
That's wild.
But yeah, so I'm like, I played 2 rounds straight because there was like 4 groups, and so I was like, well, I'm just gonna stay with the next group because I'm having a lot of fun. And so I'm just like up here on the ridge, like going from tree to tree, just like picking off 6th graders in laser tag. It was awesome. And then my back started hurting.
Yeah,
and my back's been hurting for like the last few days. But
I love sitting here acting like I haven't heard that story, or like I haven't been talking to you all morning, being like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, well, we've got a little cough we're recovering from, but I'm so excited to have Evan on the podcast today. We're just going to talk about our wedding day. We're going to talk about marriage, give a little Q&A type question, really just Evan on the hot seat. So get excited, hop on your walk, pop your AirPods in. It's just going to be a little chatty time. So, anything you want to say about being married to me? I feel like the people need to know what's like something someone doesn't know, like based on like what I put out into the world, that they should know about being married to me. Like, what's it like? You're the only person who will ever know. So,
well, being married to Emma is fun. It honestly, it feels like being a kid in a way. Because of just how silly and goofy you are, and it also like brings out my silly and goofy side.
Period.
And it's just fun. It's really fun to be married to you and do life with you.
Oh, you have to say that.
No, I don't have to say that.
That's so funny because there's like this TikTok that's like when you let out your inner child, and it's like that on TikTok. Anyway, I don't know. I'm kind of TikTok obsessed. Wait, I was going to say something though. I forgot. I don't remember. But that's crazy. Yay. I'm so glad you like being married to me. Okay, let's go back to the wedding day, June 8th, 2025. What was like your favorite part of the wedding day? What like were you nervous about? Like walk us through your POV. You didn't golf day of, did you?
No, I didn't golf, but golfing. I did film a short film.
Oh my gosh.
The day of my wedding.
The short film is insane.
So yeah, I think my favorite part of the wedding was probably the ceremony. There was a point where...
Did you say my wedding?
Well, our wedding. Sorry. Well, you're talking to me and asking me questions. Sorry. Yeah, I think... So when the ceremony started and like seeing you walk down the aisle, and like there was a point where like the sun rays were just like coming in through the stained glass windows and like reflecting on you, and that was such like a majestic moment and like picturesque, and it'll be in my head for the rest of my life.
Aww, wait, that's so cute.
But just seeing the sun hit you in that way, in your dress and just the way you looked, like that's one of those moments where I'm like, God, like this is God ordained. Like I know this is God's will and His plan.
Wait, why am I crying? That's
so sweet. Like, which I always knew that, but just like it's those moments,
having that blessing on the day.
Yeah, like having that blessing on the day of knowing that like this is the Lord's will.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like that was awesome experiencing that. And then our pastor and just the sermon that he gave over us was really sweet and really powerful.
He had like a towel hidden behind all the flowers, and he was like, I have a gift for you, Evan. And he pulled out this yellow towel, and it was a reminder that he is supposed to wash my feet for the rest of my life, which was funny. He didn't give me one time. It says wash your feet. But I thought it was a really cool representation, and we'll remember it forever of like, also, I feel like now you've used that towel. You use it as like a sweat rag or something.
Well, there's two yellow towels that we have. Right. And I don't know which one I used, but I know there's still a yellow towel in the closet. So.
Anyway, I thought that was cool. It was really cool because he was like crying. The pastor was crying the whole time, which was just so impactful because it's such a big moment. It's a covenant not only between each other, but it's between us and God. And to have that special moment, not like when you cry, you remember something more, but you just remember that it's like, it's such a holy moment of two lives being joined together forever. And I thought that he really like did a good job with that.
Yeah. I think that was thank you. I think that was the most emotional that I was.
Oh yeah, he was like crying.
I was literally bawling, and like there was a picture that the photographer took where like you can just see the tears that I'm crying in the current moment, but also the ones that I've already cried.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think the moving and the most like significant part about that was just like the weight of marriage and like how we need to take it seriously, but how it's a beautiful reflection of God's love.
Yeah.
And it's a reflection of how Christ loves us and sacrifices everything for us, like that being the husband's role. And so it was just really beautiful and moving and
very holy. I feel like
very, very holy. Word. And I just loved the way that he presented it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I also loved the dance party. I liked the lemonade was really bussin'. Like I just like thought it was so good. Did you ever get any of it or no?
I don't know if I got lemonade, but the food was really good, and I was not expecting the food to be that good. Oh my gosh,
the food was amazing. And we got to sing together, which was fun.
Yeah,
we got to sing a song together, and it was just so cool having all of our friends and family in one place. I think was like the best part too.
Yeah, I think what was really sweet to me about the people who were there was a lot of my mother's friends were there. Mm-hmm. And I purposely invited them because I wanted them to like, they have known so much about me my whole life because they were friends with my mom. And so I felt like it would be sweet if I invited them in on that because they knew my mom so well. And they knew me so well. And so that was really sweet getting to see. It was almost like I was getting to experience what it, like a tiny glimpse of what it could have been like
if she was there.
For my mom, like if she was there.
Yeah.
Through having them there. So that was really sweet.
Yeah. It was, a glorious day. It was so fun. And I think I wish I got to like, I think the biggest thing is like, I wish I got to see everyone more, like, because there were so many people. Yeah. We didn't really get to see everyone, but I think we eyeballed everyone, but like shake hands, talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anything else you want to say about the wedding? How beautiful I looked.
Yeah, you did look very beautiful. And that's why it was so cool when you were walking down the aisle because you looked stunning, and then like we're in this beautiful venue and the sun's like just right, and I'm like, this is a God moment.
Well, and like the song that was playing was our song. We would drive when we first started dating to the song "Sails" by Pat Barrett and Stephanie Gretzinger. And the words are like, I let out the sails of my heart. Here I am, here you are. And kind of just the picture of like, I'm letting out my heart. I've let out my heart to Jesus in my whole life. And then Jesus led me to you. And then that picture of like he was leading me down the aisle, and there were just like petals on the aisle, which like mean so much to me. Rainbow flowers mean so much to me. And it was really a holy moment and something that I look back on and I'm like, I can just see the faithfulness of God. And also just like, I think we were talking about this yesterday or on Sunday, we went out on a date, but just like, I think we've talked about the butterflies in our story. You can go back and listen to that. But when I saw the butterflies on our first date, and butterflies mean a lot to us because they kind of represent his mom and just like confirmation from the Lord. I saw a lot of butterflies when I was praying about if Evan was my future husband. And we were just talking on our date about just like life and marriage and all these things. And it's just like there are moments in your life that you can go back to and remember what God has done and remember like why he brought you somewhere and what he's doing. And just that promise of like, I just feel such peace when I think about that day and the day that we first started dating with the butterflies, because I'm like, God truly did call us together. And anytime that I feel like the enemy is trying to attack or like just feeling off or anything like that, I can just go back to those tangible things, which I think it's so cool that God speaks that way. To me, he speaks that way. And I love that visualness. I'm a 4 on the Enneagram. I like to touch, see, and smell things. And so I'm just really grateful that God has given us that, that peace. And so maybe today, if you're in a relationship, you're trying to see like, is he the one? Is he not? Like asking God for tangible sights of his peace, whether that's like a feeling of peace or whether that's like, you know, a conversation, praying for a conversation to happen where like you just feel the peace of God in that conversation, or like praying that someone would just walk up to you and be like, you know, all those things that happen in your day, like don't forget those, write those down because that is the Lord working. And just whatever that is for you, I feel like the peace of God for people is different. I don't know what is the peace of God for you looked like in our relationship. I feel like you say it's more like the things you prayed for in me.
Yeah. Right. I would say definitely like the things that I prayed for.
Like
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Seeing me as like the Proverbs whatever, 30, or the Proverbs 31 verse or something. That was like your...
Well, okay. So I think a big verse that's significant in our relationship, but specifically to how like I view you, is you help sanctify me and sharpen me and make me better, which Proverbs 27:17 says iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And you're that sharpener for me that I need, and Christ is using you to sanctify me. And that's really what like we're learning in marriage, is that marriage is about being sanctified. And you're not only is Christ sanctifying you, but he's sanctifying you through the other person. So like she sanctifies me and makes me better. Yeah. And I do the same for her. Yeah. And so but the only way we can do that is if we're both being sanctified by Christ and like devoting that time to him and actively like pursuing relationship with him. But also it's pursuing relationships with like people who have gone before us. So wise counsel, pursuing wise counsel, and also people who are like at the same life stage as we are as well. So I think it's just surrounding yourself with wise counsel, with people who've been there and people who are also going through the same thing. Yeah. And then pursuing your relationship with the Lord. And that's all sanctifying you, which allows you to sanctify the other person.
Yeah. I think I would definitely say what I would describe marriage as right now is like the great purifier. It's really wanted me. I've been reflecting on the word sanctification, and like it really has just put this desire in me to be pure of heart, pure of mind. And like we were even talking about the other day, like how I can't watch any other TV shows right now. I'm like, literally the summer I turned pretty. I just have to finish it and then I'm literally done. But I need to know what happens. But just saying like, there's just so many things that I feel like in my singleness, I just like let in that I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like pop culture, that's fine. Like whatever. And I just feel like in marriage, you just see how much that affects you. It affects your relationships. It makes you more gripey, bogged down. I'm not saying never watch any other TV show or anything like that, but just I have felt convicted of like, I want to be sanctified unto Christ. I want to be real about my relationship with Jesus. And I feel like in this past season, I kind of was like, oh, whatever. And because I think we were also talking about the other day how like when you come to Christ as like a young believer, it's kind of hard to distinguish the real bounds of like the world and life in Christ. It is easy to distinguish, but in the sense of like, more so like, oh, you can play with things of the world a little like easier because you're like, well, you don't know the effects or the hurt or the brokenness that comes from living fully in like, you know, sin of like partying or like just things that are really can really damage your relationship with Christ. Which is not to say someone who has followed Jesus their whole life doesn't have sin or things to work on. But I just feel like it makes you more numb to the hurts and the harms of the things of this world. I was listening to a podcast and this girl was talking about how she found Jesus when she was 26 and how like when she hears like people cussing now, she like gets like physically like ill and like, whoa, like I can't listen to that. And for me, I never really had a huge conviction about cussing. And now I just am like, no, I don't want to be a part of anything that is going to like deter my relationship with Jesus. Not only are there scriptures that point that out, but I don't know if that makes sense. I just feel a call to be more holy, if that makes sense. And I feel like that's coming from rubbing up against someone 24/7 and seeing the way that your sin affects them and the way that you can hurt them so much more easily and quicker than like when you go home and you're just engaged or just dating. It's like you can go home to your selfishness and do whatever you want. But now it's like, how can I serve all the time? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Was that a crazy thing to say?
No, I don't think that is crazy.
Anyway, getting purified and edified.
Yeah. I think with things like what content do you consume, I think there's a level of discernment on, okay, what is really affecting you? Because I think there are some things that you can, and I want to be careful about saying this because I'm not saying that
they affect different people.
Yeah, they affect people differently. Yeah. So, like, if you feel like you're fine, I mean, watching Summer I Turned Pretty, great. Watch it. Like,
you better stay.
But I think the most important thing to think about and ask the question to yourself is this edifying? Is this edifying for my soul?
Yeah.
And
is it taking you down a dark spiral?
Is it taking you down a dark spiral? Like, are you consuming too much to the point to where, and obviously we're still learning about this stuff. I mean,
no, we're not perfect at all.
I'm still learning about this stuff. But like, are you consuming it to a point to where it's like consuming your thoughts and affecting the way that you're thinking? And I think if the answer is yes to that, then that's where you need to remove that. I'm not saying that you can't like watch that, but maybe if you're watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, maybe you like skip certain scenes or things like that. But I also think that there's media and content that's just straight up like it's not even necessarily like certain scenes. It's like throughout the whole time. It's just like
darkness.
It paints this picture that there's this right person that you you're destined,
you need to written
be
in
with.
The stars.
You're destined to be with.
Yeah.
Which there's truth in that, right? There is some truth in that, but it's not the truth, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just things like that. Because here's the thing, it's Hollywood. It's like their relationships. They're usually like relationships are not as dramatic as they make it
That's
seem.
what I was gonna say.
Like they really like emphasize the problems.
No, it's like
and stuff like that when it's really the problems are not that bad. I mean, there is extremes, of course, but then they even like overemphasize the good things, and
I think as someone
they're
who
just like drama.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Someone who like loves romance movies, like Safe Haven is like my favorite movie ever, and like I just like I think I've found like in being married. Evan is obviously my person, and I'm so excited to be with him forever. But it's not the movies. Like it's not like we are crusty, our breath smells bad. Like they don't write those in the movies, and so I just want to speak to the person who like don't have this false expectation of like marriage is going to satisfy every single thing in me, because one, it's not. It never is. Only Jesus can satisfy those longings in your heart. And I think romance and all these things puts this false expectation that these things are going to fulfill me, and like love is all I need. And if I can just find my person, like everything will be okay. When I get married, my life will begin. And that's just not true. And I think the world tells us that. And I think just in this past season, I've been really convicted of that, of like, this is not the beginning of my life, or that like my life is not now just starting. It's been started. And Evan doesn't complete me. Evan doesn't, I mean, like, I think too, what we've been talking about is like our days are so filled with our jobs that like when we come home to each other, we want to like not be watching TV and actually take each other in. And I think a lot of times when we're watching these shows and filling our times, which we've been binging a lot too, we're trying not to do that. We love Jack Ryan. Anyway, go watch on it. No, I can't say that now because that's what we're talking about. But like, we just want to have that time where you can connect. And so I think sometimes in singleness or engagement or all those things, it's just so easy to be like, well, I'll just get to that tomorrow. And it's like, life is now. And if we forget that like our life is not what's on TV, I think we'll just miss out on a lot of super special moments, a lot of times with friends, a lot of time with community. And yeah, even like watching TV in isolation, I think is just, you know, to each their own. Obviously, I watch a TV show every now and again, but just like speaking to the person who's really feeling like that conviction of like, wow, like I think this is like overtaking my life. Like I think I'm scrolling too much. I think I'm, you know, obsessed with this a little too much. Like you can just say no and open your Bible and go for a walk, like touch grass. Because literally this show, Summer I Turned Pretty, has kind of made me a little crazy too, because I'm like, what happens? And all these TikToks are like, I need to go outside and touch grass. And I'm like, I do. So I need to turn off my phone. I need to, I don't know. I'm sounding crazy, but.
Yeah. And I think it's easy to, especially if you're single, it's easy to like do something that really consumes your time, that you're like, oh, I just want to turn my brain off and do this like mindless thing for a little bit. And I think that there is room for that. I think you need to have moderation with that and use your time wisely. And I think that there, again, that if that is restful for you for, I would say, for a certain amount of time, set like a standard or an expectation. I'm going to watch like for this one episode. Okay. Yeah. And usually episodes for like an hour. So it's like you spend an hour doing that. And then, and I'm more so talking about like when you have downtime, when you have days off. I think finding things that you connect with God on. So it might be like doing something creative. Like for me, it's like I pick up my guitar or I songwrite. And now I'm starting getting into reading. I used to not like read as much, but now I'm starting to read more and I have actually found that I enjoy it. It's just the hard part for me.
Just kidding. Literally reading his book this week. I'm a reader.
Well, no, I'm saying like as I read more, I'm enjoying it. And learning that I enjoy it. I think the hard part for me is like, because I'm very ADD, so I like the instant gratification, like, and I'm working through that. But like, the hardest part for me is opening the book. But once I open the book, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
So
anyway, all that to say is we wish that we did our singleness better, so that we wouldn't have to be learning these things for month 2 of marriage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there was like,
or maybe I'm just talking about me. I'm talking about you.
Yeah, I just think that there's really no way that you can prepare.
Yeah, that's really.
I think the purpose, like here's the thing. You're never gonna there's never gonna be a perfect time. One, I tell all my friends this who are like, I'm thinking about getting married, thinking about getting engaged. There's never gonna be an ideal time to get married, get engaged. It's just like what you can do, or to be ready for whatever life stage you're in.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is to seek the Lord's wisdom, seek the Lord's counsel, pray, be in the Word,
be around couples older than yourself.
And like I was saying earlier, seek wise counsel. And if you're doing those things, God will open the door for whatever it is that you're praying that will happen, or wherever it is you're wanting to not you, but wherever it is the Lord wants you to go, will happen in His timing. It's not going to happen in your timing, and your expectations are probably not going to be met.
Yeah.
And that's part of being married, is realizing that, okay, there's a lot of stuff that we are not good at, and we're working it out because, again, the Lord's sanctifying us and making us better, and we're making each other better.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it roots up a lot of stuff in you. And I think that's what we've experienced in the first 2 months. It's just, whoa, I have all of these things that are now being shown because I'm living in close proximity with this person. But let's talk about a good part about marriage. I feel like we're talking about sad things. What's your favorite part of marriage?
My favorite part, I would say, I love being silly with you. That's really fun. Probably coming home to you, because I feel like you're just my person. You're my safe place. So I can come home to you and I can feel safe, and I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? That's why I married you, because you are my home and you feel like home to me. And so when everything's crazy and other people's relationships are falling apart, I'm like, well, I've got a beautiful wife and a roof over my head, and we enjoy being with each other and love each other very much. And so I'm just excited to go home, because I'm like, I don't have to deal with all this drama. And not that we won't have drama or struggles come, and not that we haven't, because we definitely have. But but I think the comforting thing is knowing that God holds my relationship. I don't hold it. And I also don't hold Emma to those expectations, because she was saying, you're not going to meet the person's expectations all the time. That's just...
Are you crying?
Well, you know me. I get emotional about anything God related. But the purpose of marriage is not to sorry, my brain just went in another direction. The purpose of marriage is not to complete another person, but it's genuinely to point the other person to Jesus, because that's the goal of marriage, is to reflect the love of God for His people. But so I would just say, coming home to you and waking up next to you are some of the sweetest moments that I really enjoy and love, and just getting to spend time with you. And our date the other night was really fun. So
I was gonna say too.
Sorry, I want to interject one more thing.
I'm scared.
Not having to drive home at 10:30 p.m. or 11 p.m. at night,
it's really nice.
It's really nice. I'm like, I can just go to sleep with my best friend, and it's great.
I think the part of feeling safe is definitely my favorite part. It's just there's someone that I can be completely myself around, and he's not going to get mad at me, or even when I'm grumpy, even when I'm mean in the morning, or even when I'm sassy, you can handle it, I guess. And that you're not scared of me walking out the door or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, that confidence, again, giving the credit to God, give credit where it's due. I trust that the Lord is holding our relationship.
Yeah.
And so I don't hold her to an impossible standard, because I know she's a sinful human being. I know she's broken, just like I am. I'm broken and sinful. And so when you both are giving yourselves up
Mm-hmm.
to the Lord and his will, and you're giving your relationship to the Lord and his will, then there is less pressure on trying to appease and make each other happy.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's even times where, I mean, you probably know, there's times where you get mad at me and frustrated at me, and there's times I get mad and frustrated at you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I don't love you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need help loving other people.
Yeah.
Most of the time we do, actually. And it may not even be you. It may be someone else, like a coworker or, you know, a friend or whatever it may be. And that's where God comes in, and he holds your relationships, because we're never going to be able to love perfectly until we're glorified, until we're in heaven.
Yeah.
So
good.
And that's what we have to look forward to, having one day.
Woohoo! Having one day. That's a good segue
Roll
out.
credits. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. Well, that was good. Thanks for coming on. I know this was short, but we're doing 30-minute episodes this fall. So get excited. Any last words for the people?
Yeah, I think just have grace for yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you're, you know, not in your Bible every day, or if you're not praying as much as you'd like to. But at the same time, like, find people who are going to walk with you through your faith.
Yeah.
And I'd say the best marriage advice I can give
2 months in.
2 months in.
3 months in.
Is follow Jesus. If you're not following Jesus, I don't want to be mean or come off as mean, but the best thing for your marriage is to follow Christ, because it's what marriage is about. It's about reflecting Jesus and his love for the church. So if you're not following Jesus, please do, because one, it's the best thing you could ever do. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's very hard. But you live life with so much more joy and so much more fullness. And you also live life not having this insane like expectation in mind, and everyone meeting that. So just follow Jesus and submit your life to him. And not that you won't have struggle, you will. But I was telling someone this the other day. I was like, yes, like, it's hard being a Christian, but I would rather go through hardships with God than going alone without God. And I did do that.
Yeah.
And so, that would just be my advice. Follow Christ, and it's just going to do wonders for your marriage.
Yeah, it's good. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next week on TheHodPod. Follow us on Instagram at TheHodPod. We're on TikTok too. We love you guys. The Lord is at work. Go join him. Bye. Okay, do a little ring show for the